Hi there guys, how's it going? I'm not going to lie to you with this one and tell you this is the best amp in the world. I sort of ummed and ahed about doing this video because, to be honest with you, I couldn't get it to sound the way I wanted it to sound. I think the sound that I ended up with was actually pretty decent, but I did sort of cheat somewhat, I guess. I used a pedal to boost the drive channel. Now, if you were doing a valve amp test, that would not be like a bad thing. I want to point out, by the way, that this is absolutely not a demo of, you know, every parameter that this amp has got, and I'm not going to show you out of context either, because I don't think the sound is going to hold up. But that's not really my point with this video. If you're in a live environment, with the drummer bashing 7F bells out with cymbals and the bass player finding the more switch, you wouldn't really hear it in isolation anyway. It's going to be in the melee of noise that is a rock band. And for that purpose, it'll stand up, as it did in the mix right there and hitting it with a pedal. Now, obviously with some kind of a modeling amp, your traditional thinking would be that you're going to plug a cable in and the amp's going to do the whole lot. It's going to do the effects, it's going to do the drive. So you don't tend to use them with drive pedals, but in this instance I have done, and I think it sounded a lot better because of it. I will say that most of the drive was coming from the amp. So I'm on the Brit Classic model. Interestingly, when I used this, I was actually on the Brit High Gain, but the Brit Classic sounded better in this instance. The drive is probably just under halfway, and I'm boosting it with a pedal for the extra saturation. I'm using the internal reverb, but I'm not using the internal effects. The internal effects are good. You've got to figure that this era is the era of like the DL4, the green Line 6 delay. They had a whole bunch of different modulation ones as well. So their effects were good. The clean sound doesn't hold up so well. It's very brittle, it's very sharp, and I couldn't really find something that I wanted to play. I only really want to play sounds that I think are strong enough to warrant you listening to them. I'm not just going to play you a poor sound, and I couldn't dial it in to a point where I was really happy with the clean. It's not as big a sound as I don't know, more recent modeling things or valve stuff. The problem is with digital amps of this kind of era is that obviously they get superseded, they get outdated. Modern digital stuff is, a lot better than this. And unlike a valve amp maybe made in a whatever period of time, they have their own thing, they have their own character. Well, this doesn't have that. It's not bad enough to have its niche thing. It's just an amp. But you can pick them up for less than 100 quid on eBay, which for that price point is absolutely fantastic. I believe it's a 300 watt amp, 150 watt aside, and you can split two cabs off either side, so you could have 16 12s at 300 watts, which would just be monster power. If anyone does a gig like that and films it, could you please tag me, because I'd love to see it, or maybe invite me to the gig just to see somebody rocking a Flextone 2 into 16 12s. Would I recommend buying one? Hey, if you're on a budget and you've only got 100 quid or less, it's a lot of amp. You could stick some kind of dirt pedal in front of it. It doesn't have to be anything vastly expensive. And the delay is good. The effects, by the way, I should just mention, you are limited to combinations of effects that they've already specified. So it's got compression, chorus, delay, that kind of stuff built in. I think it's got a rotary thing in there as well. But the combinations are down to... you could have like compression and delay or chorus and delay, but if you wanted compression and chorus, well, that's not one of the dual options that they've got there for you. So it's more limited, but not a bad sound, and incredibly cheap. Anyway, I hope you dug the Southern Rock Jam Band vibes of the opening jam there. If you like the video, give me a like, share, subscribe, any of that kind of stuff, and I will see you in the future. Later.